And we are back. Welcome to the...
Don't sound so excited.
It's been a month.
Don't worry, folks. The coffee hasn't kicked in.
It's
been a year.
We're only at the end of February. Well,
exactly.
1st of March when this posts.
Thank you very much.
Welcome back to the Project Gen X podcast. I am one of your hosts, Alan Smith, along with...
I'm the other guy, Big Dave.
And our new member...
Barry!
There we go. How long are we going to call you a new member?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
it's better than being a dismember.
I guess so. You know, it's our featured guest or whatever. You know?
Designated flunky.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll see how many times he shows up on time.
So he's still a pledge. We talked about
that. Wow.
It's like, why did I make coffee pledge? That's a pledge job, you know.
Nice.
You want to know where that came from?
What's that?
Well, you know, we talked about it a little bit last episode, but really where it came from is that recently I went back and rewatched Greek. I don't know if you ever watched that show.
I watched a couple episodes.
Dude, I love that show when it was on, and I had not rewatched it since it went off the air like a decade ago. Yeah, and I was just like, oh man, I forgot how good this show was.
Nice.
Got me right back into that college, you know, like, oh yeah, I remember some of this stuff. It's
stuff you got away with.
God bless the days before everything was on the internet.
Absolutely.
Where everybody was carrying around a camera and and a recording device. Because talk about getting canceled, I would have happened a long time ago.
That was still a possibility for you, my friend.
Yeah, this day ain't over yet.
This is not a challenge, but I've said this before. I think at this point might be uncancelable. So, I think
you better knock on some wood or something.
I was about to say, you got a rabbit's foot in your pocket or something?
Yeah, at least I have plausible deniability these days for like, there was a lot of years it was really blurry. So anyway,
on this episode,
after all that, again, our pledge brought this one to us. That's going to be a thing for a while.
I can see it happening now.
Don't blame me. I didn't do it.
Yeah, but you're not stopping it either.
And we haven't given you your nickname yet. So
Lord. Oh, my goodness.
It's coming.
I can see a jersey with that on it right now. Anyway.
So Barry brought us this episode. This is it's actually a really cool. It's a good topic. You say you'll be able to say this better than I can at this point. So
okay.
What is the topic?
So something I noticed, I was kind of going back through. I'm a huge cartoon fan. Not just animated shows, but specifically cartoons. Right. And I noticed that there was a huge trend in like the late 80s into the 90s, even into like the 2000s, where comedians were actually doing cartoons. Yes. And I don't mean just like making a guest appearance. I mean like having their own series.
Yes.
So what I did was I kind of went through and started looking to see, okay, well, who are some of these? You know, what were they any good? You know, did they last very long? Right. You know, was it just kind of a one-off, knockoff, you know, passion project type thing, or were they actually legit cartoons? So we
found a bunch of them.
We here at Project Gen X podcast did our homework.
Yeah.
Well, I went
two
back,
of us did.
I pulled up some information on the ones I could remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ones that I actually kind of watched a little bit.
Like I said,
I'll tell you what.
Two of us did the research, and one of us is skating by on our
on your laurels.
It's going to get a grade.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, Dave. Since you've got the homework over here, why don't you kick us off on this one?
The one that I actually watched and watched, I wouldn't say religiously, but if it was on, I was going to watch it.
Yep.
Was Howie Mandel's
Bobby's World.
Yep. I loved Bobby's World simply because I knew it was Howie Mandel. And we're not talking about the Howie Mandel, now the clean shaven, the cool. We're talking about weird afro Howie Mandel.
Right. Jerry Curlbauer. Yeah.
Putting the rubber glove over his head and inflating it, that kind of guy.
Exactly. And somehow this guy got his own children's cartoon.
Well,
it was fun.
Oh, it was great.
Of course, it was based on a character that he did in his stand-up. Yeah. And the interesting thing about Howie Mandel is that he did work in the 80s, he did movies, he was on St. Elsewhere, and all that, he was doing stand-up and all that kind of stuff. And then Bobby's World started in 1990 and went till 98.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things that all through the 90s, he basically worked. And then in the early 2000s was when Deal or No Deal hit.
Yeah.
And so it's one of those things where like he really didn't have a whole lot of downtime in any of it. And then he went on to like, what is it now? He was on the X Factor or one of those.
No, it was America's Got
Talent. Yeah, well, he was on one of those shows, I know. And so it's like, okay, this is we have seen him just kind of keep
Deal or
going.
No Deal was basically his rebranding point.
Right.
That's where he came back with the clean-shaven head and the suit.
The no-touching thing.
The no-touch. Well, he's always had that.
Yeah.
Whether you remember or not, he's always had
but
that.
It didn't. He finally admitted it in an interview like in the early 2000s somewhere, or late 90s or something like that. And it was one of those things that when he would come up and he would do fist bumps. Yeah. That's all he would do. You know, it was like.
And he had done work throughout that time frame, because I remember him on an episode of Monk.
Yeah, he definitely worked.
He was working, but it was really interesting to see this. And Bobby's World is one of my favorites. But I'll say this much: the character of Bobby's mom was what really sold me, because that's the first time I'd ever heard that accent. I mean, growing up in Middle Tennessee, you don't really hear that Midwestern "don't ya know" kind of accent.
Yeah.
You know,
this is before Fargo.
Yes, this was before Fargo. This was before you really saw a lot of that going out. So once you heard this one, "Oh, for the love of Pete," you know, that kind of stuff. I'm like, I don't know what that is, but I am on board.
Well, here's something most people don't know is that the theme song was actually composed by John Tesh and Michael Hanna.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
John Tesh did something I actually want to listen to?
Yes.
I'm shocked. I am shocked.
He did something else that I just heard recently. It was a theme song that he helped. And it wasn't Bobby's World. It was something else. I can't remember what it was now.
I don't know.
It's going to bother me. I'll remember it like 4 episodes from now.
I think that's going to be another episode.
Yeah, it could be. John Tesh is had such a strange, from being on Entertainment Tonight to becoming this
weird pseudo pop star.
Well, but he went from Entertainment Tonight to NBC News or NBC Sports, I should say.
Yes,
because he did the Olympics and that kind of stuff. To also, while he was working there, recording music for
becoming the Yanni of piano players.
Yeah, but he did the music for. You remember the NBA on NBC?
Yes.
Yeah, that was John Tesh. Did that? Yes.
Yeah, he did a lot of composing.
Yeah, and again, that's an iconic. Like, oh yeah, you hear that music, you know exactly. Oh, NBA on NBC.
Yep.
From the back in the '90s. Yeah, John Tesh did that.
I had no idea.
Yeah. So
okay. Well, all right.
I do not retract my Yanni.
I never liked Yanni, so it was
Yanni's great if you want to fall asleep.
Yeah, exactly.
It's wonderful music to fall asleep to.
Have nightmares.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll throw mine out here. My next one. The one that I loved, and this was still to this day, I can watch an episode of it, was Camp Candy.
Okay.
With John Candy.
I've got that one on my list also.
89 to 92 on this one. And the best part is he did the theme song. He voiced inside of it, and he played John Candy. He didn't play, some made up weird character.
Some of these, yes, he did. He played him, quote unquote, himself rather than an Uncle Buck or whatever type character. I think it would have been awesome if he'd played the Polka King of the Midwest. What's the
if you had
what I'm trying to say, guys. Yeah. I think that would have been awesome if he'd have played it like that. But it's some of these that we're going to talk about are comedians playing a character.
Right.
Some of these
are they playing themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, but some of these are also someone else playing their character, like voicing their character. We'll get to it.
Okay.
There have been a couple of those where it's we did this thing and then they're like, oh, but it's kind of like what was that Saturday morning cartoon that had Jordan and Gretzky and Bo Jackson,
the All Stars.
Yeah, it was All Star, whatever it was. It's and it was one of those things that they would all show up at the beginning, like in live action, but then it was somebody else doing their voices.
Kind of like the MC Hammer one.
Yeah, the Hammerman stuff. Yeah, exactly. But that actually does happen on at least one of these that I know of. So we'll get to it. So I guess Camp Candy. Admittedly, I did not see but just a handful of these episodes.
Oh, I loved it.
I really did like what I saw, but it was just kind of... And I'm not going to lie and say that I wasn't watching Saturday morning cartoons between 89 and 92 because I was still in high school at the time. But a lot of times I would... Because I especially back then, I really liked staying up late on the weekends. And so I would, like on Friday nights, I would stay up like late.
Right.
A lot of times I wouldn't wake up in time to watch what was on television.
Yeah.
I would always hope to wake up in enough time to watch Saved by the Bell, but it wouldn't always happen. So, oh, come on. I just wanted to look at the girls. Let's be honest.
I'm sorry. I have a as much as I respect Saved by the Bell, that was the death knell for Saturday morning cartoons. There was some of that. The end
there really was, because it wasn't, I mean, we're talking like it was in the like 92, 93, somewhere around there when NBC got rid of all their Saturday morning cartoons, and they started doing. They had that in California Dreams and Hang Time, and there was another one that they had on there. There were all these live action, quote unquote, teen stuff that nobody watched.
No,
really. You know, I mean, just
it was filler stuff.
It really was. You know?
And we saw what the caffeine pills did to Jessie Spano.
Exactly.
She's so excited.
She's so scared.
No, she went to Vegas and it didn't turn out
well. True. That's true.
And had that weird dolphin scene in the pool.
Moving right along.
That's one way of putting that. Yes, that does kind of like a dolphin flailing.
Wow. Steer the conversation.
Half in and half out of water.
Wow.
Moving right along.
All right, Alan.
Sorry I even brought it up.
I'm going to go with Life with Louie.
Okay. See, this was my third one on my list.
Life with Louie was on from 1994 to 1990. Never in a million years would I have thought, hey, let's give Louie Anderson a Saturday morning cartoon.
But it worked.
It did. It is also one of those shows, kind of like BoJack Horseman, that is like, you sit and watch it and go, no, this is what depression looks like.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the best personification of depression I have ever seen in my life. And the dynamic between him and his dad, we're just like, how are you putting this on? Like, are you wanting to like depress kids and give them anxiety and
but keep in mind, hang on, you're looking at that right now through the eyes of an adult.
In 94, I was 20 in 90, but watching it then, I was just like, what in the world? I mean, I loved it, but at the same time, I'm going, this is not for kids.
Yeah,
this
all right,
is not
that's
for kids,
fair.
You know,
I mean,
but it was on Saturday mornings. It was on Fox. It was on Fox Kids.
It was,
you know?
and just the makeup, or excuse me, the drawing and the way the voices that Louie Anderson did the voice of his dad himself, and it was really, really funny. I really enjoyed it, and I get what you're saying as far as that goes. But I also think that if I'm a 7 or 8 year old and I'm watching this, I'm not picking up on those nuances. I just see somebody struggling with communicating with their parents.
Yes,
so
absolutely. I get that, and again, it's a brilliant show.
Oh yeah,
and
well drawn.
We just lost Louie not long ago.
Yeah,
I mean, just
R.I.P.
Yeah, and I saw the first time I went to Las Vegas in '96. I was 22 years old, and Louie Anderson was performing, and we actually got tickets and went and saw him.
Oh,
nice.
And now, and it was kind of one of those like, oh, dude, this is really cool. Like, oh, this is what Vegas is.
Right.
Obviously, it wasn't what Vegas was because we found out later, but it was still one of those things where it's like, no, this is really kind of cool. I enjoyed this. But yeah, Louie, I would have never pegged him as hey, we're gonna make a Saturday morning cartoon out of your stand up.
Yeah.
So, anyways, but I do. I highly anybody go watch it if you can. Dave, what's your next one?
Well, speaking of people that I can't believe they took their comedy and turned them into a childhood cartoon.
But I know which one this one.
Little Rosie.
Little Rosie.
Oh yeah.
Roseanne Barr. It was
Roseanne
based
Barr.
on her childhood.
Yes.
But was it really?
Well, so here's the thing. It was one season.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I don't even think it made it a full season. I think it was only like 8 episodes or something like that. And surprise, surprise, she had clashes with producers.
It was 18 episodes.
18 episodes.
Very much.
She had clashes with producers, and also around that time was when she came out and said that her parents sexually abused her when she was a child. And so it's kind of one of those like, this maybe not going forward with this one.
Well, and I got a confession to make. I didn't remember this show, so when I just saw Life with Rosie, I looked it up. I was like, oh, okay, Rosie O'Donnell did a show. No. It's like, no, that's Roseanne Barr.
Yeah, it's Roseanne Barr.
Oh, wow.
And this was Roseanne Barr Arnold.
Oh,
era.
wow.
So, yeah.
Yikes.
So it was you kind of watched it with the expectation of when is this going to blow up?
Yeah. Not a matter of if, just a matter of when.
Right. And just like that, my list is out. You've already talked about my entire list because those were the ones that I watched.
Life with Rosie, if you can find it, is well worth a look.
Yeah.
I would say it's worth a look, not necessarily a watch.
Yeah. I mean,
if that means, and I unapologetically love Roseanne Barr. I know she's had her issues, and
she has her moments.
She has her moments. I've always thought she was funny.
Evidently, it is on Prime Video.
Is it on Prime?
Really?
Video? Okay. Well,
wow.
there you go.
Okay.
If you ever look into what.
It's evidently also on Canopy.
And I am not making any excuses for her whatsoever for anything that she's done in her entire, in her, especially her public life, because there's been many controversies over the years.
Yeah.
One thing I did not know about her till a few years ago, when she was young, like when she was a teenager, she got hit by a car.
Good Lord.
And was in a coma.
Wow.
For an extended amount of time. And when she woke up from the coma, had a completely different personality than she did prior. And yeah, Sam Kinison has the same story.
Wow.
I mean that's he got hit by a car when he was young, or he had a head trauma of some sort, like when he was young, and the Sam Kinison that we know came after that.
Wow.
So yeah, it's kind of interesting to see that kind of stuff, but interesting story. But yeah, Life with Rosie, or Little Rosie, Little Rosie, different, not Life with Louie. So.
All right.
All right. Well, go right ahead. You're next.
Okay, this is one of my favorites because I remember this. It only lasted one season. It was 88. The Completely Mental Misadventures of Ed Grimley.
Yes.
Oh, I had completely forgot about
this Martin Short.
Yes, and it's funny because until I looked at your list, I had forgotten about it,
I adored that. And it's for
Ed Grimley was such a weird character.
It was. It started off on SCTV.
Right.
And then I think he actually did a couple times
He
on
did a couple
Saturday Night
times on SNL when he was that season or two that he
with the pants and
the weird little widow's peak thing up on his head. And it was just he had to somehow Martin Short had developed this character,
right,
and to try to define what Ed Grimley was,
I could not even begin.
It's just going to make your head hurt. It was just all
you got to go 2 words: 80s cocaine.
Yeah. Wouldn't surprise me. But I mean,
shaking my head.
And to think, for anyone that's seen anything with Martin Short, he's a comedic genius. I'll go and say it. But to watch him do this, it's so you can't figure out if it's going for just low-hanging fruit or if it's actually he's onto something that we're just not getting. It's kind of that Andy Kaufman thing. You're not really sure if we're in on the joke.
Man, yeah.
But the animated show on it was actually pretty cute. It wasn't drawn all that well. I
don't think it was supposed to be.
Yeah, no, it wasn't quite to the squiggle animation that we're going to get to in a little bit, but it was not what you had become accustomed to seeing in animation,
right?
Like throughout the 80s. It was not.
Yeah,
like it was not. So
it was very angular. I remember that. It's very long, it's just But the show itself was cute, and again, it was only one season, so if you can find it, it's worth a watch. I'm sure it's probably going to be on YouTube somewhere.
Yeah,
but,
I'm sure.
Just to see what the hell Ed Grimley was. So
yes. I'm going to go with a classic here.
Okay.
Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids.
Oh yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
It ran from 1972 to 1982, and then they came back in 85 for like 3 or 4 episodes or something like that. Based on Bill Cosby's stand-up, Fat Albert was one of the characters he talked about in his neighborhood, like from his comedy. Yes, we all know that Bill Cosby is a piece of crap. We get it. We're not here to talk about that stuff. We're here to talk about today.
Yes.
But Fat Albert,
stay off the microphone there, Burris.
Fat Albert was hilarious.
Oh, it was great, and it always had like some kind of a good lesson.
Yes, there was always a lesson in it.
Yeah,
always. And it was funny because, the Junkyard Gang was all made up of guys from the neighborhood, but they were all so different.
Yeah.
They were all, they were all different. Rudy was stuck up, and
you had Rudy, you had Mushmouth, you had, I'm trying to remember, Russell,
which was his brother, and, so it's one of those things where you got to go through, and they all have different personalities. It's not like a lot of cartoons where they're kind of all the same character.
Or just generic.
Yeah, or generic or whatever. And it's like they were all like well thought out characters.
Yep.
And, I go back and watch it, man. If nothing else, just for the theme song.
I actually found out that he apparently had another series that I wasn't
you were
aware
telling
of.
me about that.
My fiance, shout out to Amy, actually pointed this one out. It was called Little Bill,
and when was that?
It was 4 seasons. It started in '99. But it ran on Nick Jr.
Okay.
So it was, and when I saw the pictures of it, I actually remember. I was like, okay, yeah, I remember seeing this.
Okay. Yeah.
But
I don't recall it in the slightest.
It was kind of like an Americanized version of Caillou. It was annoying as all get out.
Yeah, it was, and I don't remember much about it, but I do think that
this would have been after the Cosby Show went off the air, and then whenever Cosby failed on CBS,
right around that same time.
Yeah,
period,
and then it makes sense that he would go back to cartoons.
Yeah.
You know?
By the way, Ed Grimley, Amazon, Fat Albert, Netflix.
Nice.
There you go.
I'm looking them up as we're talking.
Well, there you go.
Because I'm out of shows at this point, and I need to be helpful.
I watched Fat Albert all through my childhood.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
all through my childhood, and it's so good. And again,
what was the name of the superhero?
They all turned into it was the Brown Hornet.
The Brown Hornet.
That's
Brown
right,
Hornet,
yeah.
and the picture pages thing.
Picture Pages was
that was
different.
That was
thing.
Nickelodeon. They put that on Nickelodeon for Picture Pages. That was
No.
Nickelodeon. It used to come on like PBS and different places.
it was
like
on
that.
PBS.
Yeah, it was on
just saw it on
PBS. I
Nickelodeon,
remember that back in the early 80s.
Okay.
Before Nickelodeon really took off. I think it did go to Nickelodeon eventually.
Got it.
But it was for some reason mentally it's tied to Fat Albert and Cosby.
Yeah,
Just because of Cosby.
Because of Cosby more than anything. I always wanted one of those pins.
Oh yeah.
I love the sound that it made, and all that stuff. And I think
yeah.
they sold them, but they didn't make the sound.
No, it was just a pin.
Yeah,
is all it was. It had like some kind of a figurehead or something on top of it.
Yeah. So,
But all right, well, Dave, do you have any others, or
No,
you just kind of along for the ride now?
We went through all 4 or 5. Wait,
Oh,
wasn't there like a Rick Moranis that
There
was a
was.
cartoon? But he
Good
wasn't
telling.
a cartoon. He was like a live action Rick Moranis.
the Rick Moranis in Gravedale High.
There you go. There you
Yes,
go.
this
there
one
you go.
was,
I do not remember this one in the song.
It was short lived. It was only, I think it was like a season or two. It started in 1990, and it was Rick Moranis playing Rick Moranis.
before he retired.
Yeah.
For me, Rick Moranis is kind of always on my radar. Anytime he pops up in the news, I for some reason I catch it.
Yeah.
But it's because I ended up meeting him that one night in Waffle House in Hendersonville.
Well, and
I ran into him in New Orleans.
He's one of those guys that's
20,
just,
25 years ago.
Such a nice guy.
Yeah. Well, and how many people can honestly say that they would be willing to walk away from their career to raise their children?
Oh, that's.
I mean, and
I know,
after his wife passed away,
I know.
The only thing that man did, he's done 2 things since then that I know of anyway. He actually released an album, which is not bad. It's called The Agoraphobic Cowboy.
I always thought he was a good singer.
Yeah.
I mean, he really is.
It's not a bad album,
Right.
And he did a commercial. I think it was either this last Super Bowl or the one before for Ryan Reynolds.
Yes.
Yes, I
Back
remember that.
And he basically just showed up and kind of stood there saying, "Hey, we got Rick Moranis."
Yes. What was it? Yeah, he did. He didn't do anything. I mean, it was just like, oh, look, here's Rick Moranis.
Yep.
It's the first time we've seen him in years.
Decades.
Yeah. So
A decade at least.
All right. Well, I'm going to throw one out there. And
Hold on. No, that was
That
Dave.
was
That's right.
me.
That was
That
yours.
was
That's
me.
right.
The
Dave did
Gravedale High
that
one.
one.
I'm
Dave
out.
did that
I'm
one.
officially out.
Yeah,
just
you
like
said that once before.
just like poker, I'm the first one out.
Yeah, in about 20 minutes, he's going to find another 20 in his pocket. And he'll be back
Like,
in the
wait a
game,
second, I'm
so.
buying back in.
I've never done that until like maybe next weekend.
Yeah, there you go.
So the next one I'm going to throw out here was one of my favorites, and it's one of the few characters that's actually bounced over to other cartoons.
Okay.
The Critic.
I've got the critic
With
one.
John Lovitz.
John Lovitz.
This one was
I thought we were going for full on children's cartoon.
No, we were
Which is
just
why-
going cartoons.
See, that's why my list was so short because I went full on children's cartoons.
No, the critic. Yeah, it's
I love this
Comedy
show.
Central. Is that right?
It was on Comedy Central, and he actually made an appearance on The Simpsons.
He did.
You know,
Yes,
as Jay Sherman.
Yes.
And I think the series only lasted like 3 or 4 years. It was,
The critic was on from 94 to 2001.
oh, was it that long?
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't
I know. I couldn't believe it was that long either.
I liked it because Lovitz played that character so
Absolutely.
Played it to the hilt.
It was
and also
great.
the other. I mean, one of the things that we're not talking about is all the other comedians who were on these shows.
Yes.
Yeah, and there's a
mean, it
lot of them that have
just-
just made appearances. In
God,
fact,
yeah.
there's one on my list that it was basically made up of other comedians that were
Yes.
talking to one specific person.
Yeah, I've got that one.
Yeah, I kind of figured it was going to be your next one. But The Critic was great because it was all about, essentially spoofing Hollywood and spoofing the movies that were coming out or were already out.
Right.
And he was relentless.
Oh yeah.
I still remember where
Oh
they did
dude, God.
the funniest one I can remember is when they did a crossover between Star Trek The Next Generation and Hee Haw. To see Geordie LaForge blowing a harmonica was one of the funniest things I believe I have ever
that's
seen in an
sad.
animated show.
hysterical.
I was dying laughing at
Yeah,
this.
that one. some of the pulls that they would do.
Oh yeah, They pulled no punches, man. They went after it,
none whatsoever. And I'll be honest with that show, I enjoyed his that type of stuff more than I did the rest, like his life outside of being
where you find out how big of a loser he is.
And all that stuff. I just it just never, that part never resonated with me. So it was one of those things that, like, of course this was in a pre-YouTube world where they would go in and like clip stuff, in there. So it was one of those things that when I would catch it, I was always like, oh yeah, those reviews are funny. The rest of this is not. It's like, oh.
It just kind of existed.
Yeah, it really did.
If you'd like to see what we're talking about, that's the complete series is over on Amazon.
Nice.
How about Dr. Katz, Professional Therapist?
I love Jonathan Katz.
That was a good one, too.
Oh, my gosh.
That ran from 1995 to 2002. Also Comedy Central, was it not?
Yes.
Yeah. They ran back to back at one point.
Yes, they actually would run back to back.
Dr. Katz was one of those what they call the scribble animation.
Oh,
that's the ugly, them and Rugrats.
Yes.
And, there's so many other ones.
Clasco?
Doug.
Something Clasco?
Yeah, there were so many of those, like Nickelodeon, and of course Nickelodeon and Comedy Central and
MTV
and VH1 were all owned by Viacom at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they are any longer. They're owned by
MTV's
else.
independent now.
But it was one of those things you would see that kind of stuff kind of go across, But yeah, that's that whole, like I said, that's what they call the squiggle animation.
Yeah,
that's not supposed to be pretty. And
the funny thing is that the whole series is nothing more than conversations between Dr. Katz, who was actually played by Jonathan Katz,
right,
and other comedians or celebrities calling in.
Go down the list because I looked this up because I was like, how many?
I know Ben Stiller did it. Sarah Silverman did it. There's a bunch of other ones.
Hold on. Okay.
The one with Conan O'Brien is one of my
Conan O'Brien. Dom Herrera, Ray Romano, Louis C.K.
What's funny is all these people actually do need a therapist.
yeah, no doubt.
Dave Attell. Wanda
Dave
Sykes. Joy Behar was on there. Wow.
I thought we were talking about comedians.
She's funny. Wow. Believe me, what she says is funny, but in a whole different way. Jon Stewart, Mitch Hedberg.
I remember the Mitch Hedberg one. I forgot about that.
Mark Maron, Paul F. Tompkins, Laura King, Nightlinger, yeah. Wow, they left an N out of that.
That sounded wrong. Don't do that again.
Stephen Wright, Emo Phillips, Kathy Griffin, Conan O'Brien, David Cross, Jim Gaffigan, Patton Oswalt, Tom Kenny, Gilbert Godfrey, Sandra Bernhardt, Bob Balaban, Margaret Cho, Dana Gould.
Now, let me stop you for a second. Where else could you possibly imagine all of those names having anything in common except to talk to a therapist?
Rita Rudner, Winona Ryder, Bob Odenkirk, Janine Garofalo, Kevin Nealon,
Bob Odenkirk,
Gary Shandling.
I'm gonna have to go watch it.
Gary Shandling,
Richard Jenney, Jeffrey Ross, Judy Tenuta. I mean, it goes on and on. Julie Louis-Dreyfus, Bobcat Goldthwait, Lisa Kudrow, Jeff Garland, Richard Lewis, Carolyn Ray, Dave Chappelle, Rodney Dangerfield, and David Mamet.
if you ever showed up on Comedy Central, you had to call Dr. Katz at some point in time.
I mean, that is a murderer's row of comedians there that all appeared on that show.
Was Saget on there? Did I hear you say
no,
that is too bad.
But yeah, and it's funny because it was basically just therapy sessions. That's all it was. I mean, he would come in and sit down, and it was so many of those squiggle animation thing where it's like, it wasn't just that the animation was ugly. A lot of times the whole presentation was ugly. He would say something and there would be like a long pause before something else would say. It was almost like what is it? What's it? Pittner? The pause, like the theater thing. You know what I'm talking about. There's that one dude that like has these huge pauses in between every line. It's just
the Shatner,
something like that.
Well, that's between every word.
between every word.
Syllable sometimes. Yes. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's not everyone's cup of tea. Well, it is not everyone's cup of tea.
But the funny thing is, if you go into it expecting, not expecting anything more than what it is, it was a series of phone calls. Mm-hmm. That's what it was. It was supposed to be phone therapist.
And you could tell that they weren't in the same room recording this.
Oh, yeah.
Stuff. I mean, it's like, and I think that added to the awkwardness of a lot of it too, because it felt so disjointed.
In a way, it kind of had that same feel as like Crank Yankers does.
Yes, yeah.
But on a higher level of intelligence for the humor. Mm-hmm. It's not just going for like the cheap laugh. They're actually, it's more of the storytelling, trying to figure out why this person is calling into therapy, and some of them are, I mean, granted, not everything hit the mark, but the ones that did, oh my gosh, they were hilarious.
I know.
And if you're like sounding like an Amazon commercial, this is also the complete series is on Amazon.
All right, Barry.
All right, I'm going to go with one of my favorites. One of my absolute favorites. He wasn't really known much as a comedian. Mm-hmm. He did do stand-up, though. I did find this out. Jason Alexander had a show called Duckman.
Yes.
And Duckman, that was on USA Network. And
yes,
it was. From 94 to 97.
Yes.
And if you've ever seen Jason Alexander in any movie or on Seinfeld where he completely loses his mind,
this Duckman every
episode. That's Duckman just to the T. When George Costanza flips, that's Duckman.
Oh, excuse me. When Larry David flips, that's that's Duckman.
Well, and the fact that his sidekick's name, or he had a pig that was a sidekick and his name was Cornfeld.
Yes,
just cracks me up to no end. And he always had the guy from Dragnet. What was the main? Joe Friday. He had that Joe Friday voice.
Yes.
Everything is just.
And again, if you go and look at the Duckman lineup, you'll see a lot of those same that we just listed off. A lot of the same ones. Duckman. Where is it?
Amazon.
Okay. I know you're sitting there waiting. Duckman.
Don't make me like that. Don't do me like that.
Duckman was very off-putting for me.
Really?
Because it's so confrontational. And that's one of the reasons that I don't like
Wait a minute. Hang on. Did he just say that something confrontational was off-putting for him?
It's because he wasn't able to join in.
Okay, that I believe. Go ahead, Alan.
When you live at this level of confrontation all the time, when you watch stuff, you want it to be something completely different.
So let me understand this.
You just don't want competition.
He doesn't want confrontation that he can't join in with.
Yeah, he doesn't like competition.
Yeah.
So
no, what I said is that when I'm not being confrontational about something, I like to have calm.
When are you not being confrontational?
I sleep sometimes.
Yeah, so he's not allowed to run Duckman while he's asleep. That's what he's saying.
Sometimes I shower. I'm not saying that I don't have confrontation.
And for that, we're all thankful. By the way, it's a tight room in here.
I'm not going to make that.
One of the shows that everybody loves that I don't like because of it's so confrontational is It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
That one's hit or miss with me.
I don't like that.
That they're constantly. Yeah. I mean, it's just I mean, that is Danny DeVito.
I know his most DeVito-ness. I can't watch that show. It just irritates me.
All right, so we have a few of these. We're kind of getting into some outliers here. I have one that I kind of cheated on.
All right, what do you got?
Imagine that.
The PJs.
So it's on my list too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know it's claymation.
Yep.
But
by the way,
Eddie Murphy.
Yes.
Pre-Donkey.
Pre-Donky.
Right.
The PJs or the BJs?
The PJs.
No, not the BJs. Don't look that up.
Don't look that up.
Don't look that up.
Do not put that into a search. Especially if you have safe search off. Yeah. No, the PJs. It was a Fox show. It ran for like 2 seasons, I think, from 99 to 2001, and then it came back in like 2008 for a couple of episodes. Yeah. I think what it was is they had a couple of episodes that they had never aired.
Yeah,
and so they weren't new. They had been around for 7 years or whatever. Mm-hmm. And if I'm remembering this correctly, there was some kind of contractual.
Yeah, I think it had something to do with the rights.
They had to like play those last 2 episodes by contract for DVD or something. I don't remember what it was. Something.
Right.
And so they wound up playing like, we're bringing back the PJs for 2 episodes, and that was it,
And for a claymation show, I mean, obviously those things take forever to actually make the show, but it actually wasn't a bad show. I remember watching it. again, it kind of had that weird California Raisins off-putting,
very much,
feel to it.
Yes.
But it was,
it was claymation. I mean, it looked,
I have never seen this show. I've never even heard of it before.
I remember watching it when it first came on.
It's worth a relook
because it was Eddie Murphy. He's we do a sitcom, and like, but it was just his voice, and
even that it wasn't really.
He didn't play a main character, did he?
Yeah, he did.
He did play the main. He did. Okay. I couldn't remember.
Thurgood was his name.
All right.
Well, I guess I'll head over to Hulu, Peacock, or Tubi to watch.
Well, there you go.
All right. So and again, I'll give you that one because I really liked the PJs. I thought it was a great one. I'm going to throw another one at you that you didn't even know was an animated series version of it until today.
Okay.
Rowan Atkinson actually has
Mr.
Bean, the animated series.
I did not know there was an animated series.
I'm be surprised.
Now, to think Mr. Bean as animated series makes perfect sense.
Yes. Because he doesn't speak.
No,
so
I know, and exactly. Which is always weird to hear him actually talk.
Yeah.
And he's hysterical when he talks.
I know.
Oh my gosh,
I know.
funny.
But it's just like, no, because I'm used to Mr. Bean where he goes around and he makes stupid noises and expressions and that's it.
But just to think that that's an animated series, it's like, why wasn't this an animated series to start with?
Yes, I could see that.
And Rowan Atkinson is a master of physical comedy.
Yes.
An absolute master in physical comedy.
He's up there with Chaplin and
absolutely. Absolutely.
The other guy.
Chaplin and the other guy, Buster Keaton. All right. But just to think that now you're putting him into an environment where he can literally do whatever he wants to do.
Yeah.
No rules apply on this, not the rules of gravity, not the rules of physics, nothing on this. It was really
because
good.
he doesn't talk. He doesn't even really have to show up to do anything.
Exactly. And the funny thing is, he still did.
Yeah,
he still did all the little kind of the guttural stuff that the bean speak is what they.
What would be funny is that if he did all the voices on the show.
I'm not sure if he did any others.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. If he did all the other voices on the show except for Mr. Bean,
that would be pretty epic. That would be pretty epic. I'm not going to lie.
Available on Amazon and Tubi,
and it is worth a watch. It's definitely worth a rewatch, especially if you liked the live action show of Mr. Bean, which ran forever.
Right.
I mean, it's hard. I'm hard pressed to find an episode of Mr. Bean that I didn't like.
Yeah.
But I also love British comedy, so.
You're not the only.
You and my dad.
Yeah, we evidently have that in common.
Oh, yeah.
My dad loves British comedy. My dad, Mr. Yera, USA, loves British comedy for some reason.
Oh yeah,
I don't get it. So
the Brits have a different.
They have a different type of comedy. I get that.
And I'll admit that there's some stuff that they find funny that I'm just looking at going, I don't get it. But
it killed me. I remember when I was a teenager walking through the den one night. It was a Sunday night.
Was he watching Faulty Towers or something?
No, he was watching The Young Ones.
Oh God.
And it was airing.
Such a great
show. It was airing on MTV at the time.
Yes, I remember.
And I was like, "What are you watching?" Oh, it's this British show with The Young Ones, and he's sitting there like dying, like rolling, laughing at it. I was just like,
by the way,
okay.
Young Ones season 1 is on Amazon.
Well, there you go. All right,
Dave, your personal Amazon shopper.
We're kind of getting into one of these. I knew.
Ooh, evidently it's on Netflix too.
Oh, there you go.
There was a short-lived. It's called Waynehead.
Yes, Damon Wayans.
Damon Wayans. This is what I was going to get into. Damon Wayans doesn't play that character.
Does he not?
No,
I didn't know that.
No, there's somebody else that plays the character of him.
Waynehead. Yeah,
but it's funny because like Kim and Marlon and
Keenan Ivory,
Sean, and like they all appear on the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're all credited as voice actors. That they probably had like a role, here or there, or whatever. But it's one of those. It only lasted one episode one season, I should say. And it was a short season. I didn't find out where it was even on.
Really?
Yeah, like I couldn't even find. I don't remember what network it was on. I think it might have been on UPN or something like
Warner
that.
Brothers.
Warner Brothers.
Was it the WB?
CW or
the
those
WB
other ones, yeah.
back. That was 96.
That's where archive.org is.
Okay,
well,
there you go. So, is it available anywhere?
Apple TV and Vudu.
Oh wow,
wow!
I'm actually surprised because I didn't even know it existed. So,
according to what I'm finding, it's on Apple TV and Vudu.
Okay, well there you go.
So,
all right, Barry.
Okay, well, you threw out Waynehead. That's knocking the dust off one. Well, one you mentioned earlier, and it's if you want to go down the rabbit hole, technically it is a comedian doing the voice is BoJack Horseman. It's Will Arnett.
It is.
And
Horseman, man.
that's one of those ones. It's kind of like Archer. You either love it or hate it.
I watched the first 2 seasons of that show.
Yeah.
And I did with it what I've done with a couple other shows in recent years, where I'm like, you know what? I'm not obligated to finish this. And it's not because it was bad. It's just like, I don't think I have enough capacity in my life for this. Right. Like I don't want to deal with everything that this character is going through.
Yeah, I can understand that.
But I get it, because it is, like I said, it is the personification of depression.
Yeah,
is what this is, and you can see it in every episode, every frame. And it's just like, I have dealt enough with this in my life to not have to watch somebody else go through it. So,
well, and you throw BoJack Horseman out there. You also have to kind of talk about Archer.
Yeah,
that's another.
I thought about Archer too, because like, what's her name was on there?
I was actually just looking up Archer, because that was one I just thought of.
What's her name? She was one of the hosts for The Soup. She was on Friends for a little bit.
Aisha Tyler.
Aisha Tyler, yeah. Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, she's
and funny.
And funny as everything.
And funny,
And she's one of those. She's one of those women that I'm like, I want to be her friend. Yeah. I just want to be her friend. I just want to hang out with her.
I just want to be at the party she's at.
Exactly. I just.
But yeah, I mean, you talk about and there are newer ones that have come out too. Not to skip you on this one, buddy,
go ahead.
There's one that's just came out, and I haven't even started watching it yet. But Bill Burr has one out now.
F is for Family.
F is for Family.
Yeah.
I've actually heard some really good
Burr.
things about.
Love Bill Burr.
Talk about a guy that will set fire to everything.
Yeah,
and not think twice about it whatsoever.
Nope.
No.
BoJack Horseman on Netflix, by the way.
Yes, I know that was a Netflix show.
So is F for Family.
Yes. Home movies.
Oh, there's a classic.
I've never even heard of this.
It was. It started off like, I think it was on UPN or something like that, but then it moved to Adult Swim, and that's where it found its. And it's basically this kid with a video camera, and they're literally making home movies. That's the whole thing, And again, it's one of those. It's a murderer's row of comedians that are on this show. Look them up real quick.
This must not be the right.
It's Brendan Small, and then you get into like you got Jonathan Katz, Laura Silverman, Jen Kirkman, Paula Poundstone, Louis C.K., Mitch Hedberg, Andy Kindler, Emo Phillips, Maria Bamford, Eugene Merriman.
It was the same mailing list.
Tom Kenny.
Tom Kenny. Yeah. Wow.
David Cross, Mary Lynn Raskub. I can't pronounce that big, long Polish name there.
Don't know.
Patton Oswald. I mean, yeah, it is. It's one of those like where you're like, oh, Gilbert Gottfried. Huh. It's an interesting show of
HBO Max.
Yes, it's on HBO Max now because they have all the Warner Brothers stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, it's home movies was one of those ones that it's fun to go back and watch because you see like the birth of other things coming from there, and you could see where it's kind of like the seeds that have been planted for future movies and future stories and future characters and things like that, and they've really developed from that. You see that a lot in some of these earlier shows that. I mean, you could make the argument on just about any one of the ones that we talked about that they were passion projects.
Right.
This is something somebody said, hey, this will be a good idea. Let's put let's give you an animated show and kind of go from there.
Right.
And some of them were very successful. I mean, you look at ones like, like Life with Louie or Camp Candy. Those are still ones that we talk about today,
Right.
What was the one that was on for like forever? Well, Fat Albert,
right. Oh, yeah, it was on 10 years.
Again, love or hate Bill Cosby, for everything that he's done. But
and his comedy's still funny.
Yeah, if you look at what it was as a standalone thing and not have him as a part of it, it actually was a really good show.
It's like I've said about so much stuff. If I started cutting everything out of my life that I enjoyed that was made by dirtbags, I wouldn't have anything left to enjoy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
Fair point. Fair point.
Honestly.
Well, and the thing that I find so fascinating about all this, too, is that you've had a lot of comedians that have actually made appearances in children's shows.
Right.
And one of my absolute favorite. I mean, you can talk about George Carlin being on Shiny Time Station
or Cars.
Or Cars, yeah. I mean, just the fact that Shiny Time Station was a kids show,
right?
And he played Mr. Conductor, and it still cracks me up. The first time I was flipping channels and saw this show, and I was like, "Oh, this is ridiculous!" And I see this little bitty version of George Carlin dressed as a conductor. I'm like,
yeah.
What the hell is this?"
I know.
Strangely enough, replaced by Ringo Starr.
Yes, that is correct. That is correct.
But if you ever want to give yourself a present, if you're ever in the mood to just see where you can watch a video where you can almost hear the producers and the directors and everybody in the background just tensed up waiting to see what happens. Remember, folks, Richard Pryor was once on Sesame Street.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And as we were talking, he also had a Saturday morning show called Pryor's Place.
Yep.
That was on for like a year or two or something.
Yeah, it didn't last very long.
It didn't, but it was, again, one of those kind of like Fat Albert. There was always a lesson.
Yep.
There was always a lesson in everything there, and he would talk to kids about stuff, and it was like real problems.
It was a positive thing.
and it was still like, Richard Pryor is doing this.
Well, but just to watch that video of him, and all he's doing is reciting the alphabet.
Right.
But it's just this idea of you're waiting to see what's going to happen.
I know.
You're almost in anticipation going, okay, you can see a guy holding the censor button in his right hand just waiting to see what's going on it,
I have one more on my list if you're out.
Okay, I'm out.
Okay. Lucas Brothers Moving Company.
Not familiar with this one.
It's on from 2013 to 2015, couple seasons.
Okay.
It's you might be familiar with the Lucas brothers. It's Kenneth and Kevin. They're twins.
Okay.
And they've been on several. You've probably seen them. What was it they were on? I think they were on the Eric Andre show, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, I think.
But it's one of those things where, it was a short lived, but it was both of them. Eric Andre was a voice on this show. Hannibal Buress, Little Rail Howery, Jake Roberts.
Oh, jeez.
Yes, that Jake Roberts.
Wow. They got Jake the Snake on there.
That's crazy.
Jillian Bell, Kevin Barnett. It's one of those things you start going down the line of all these people. It's like, oh wow, they got some people that Questlove was on here and Tyler the Creator.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's that type of they pulled in some people.
Sounds like it, yeah.
But yeah, it was only on 2 seasons and there's only 18 episodes or something.
I may have to check that one out. I wasn't familiar with that one.
Available on FX Networks, Amazon, and Vudu.
I love the synopsis
the
here
for the show.
Yeah.
The synopsis on IMDb says the Lucas brothers run a moving company in Brooklyn, New York, but rarely do any actual moving.
That
which
sounds about right.
Sounds like my kind of thing. I have one more, and I'm gonna.
Okay.
Hold on, let me find it.
Well, while you're looking for that, I'm going to have a question for you guys after he finishes this one, because this was a trend that slowly but surely kind of dying off now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm really curious to see, what if this were something that was going to be a rebirth. If you had your end all be all, living or dead,
right?
Whoever, what comedian do you think would make a great cartoon? If you wanted
living or dead,
just turn them loose and say, okay, just like we did with Life with Louie or Camp Candy, just give them that opportunity.
I have 2 of them hands down. I would love to see animated cartoons. One of them is Sam Kinison. I would love to have seen Sam Kinison have his own cartoon show.
I could see that. Yeah. I could see that. It definitely wouldn't be something that would be tame. That's for sure.
The other one is Bobcat Goldthwait.
Bobcat,
who is a living cartoon to begin with.
I was going to say he almost is his own cartoon.
Bobcat would be interesting. Think about that.
And if on that cartoon, the special guest star every week would be David Tell.
Okay,
put those 2 together.
Oh wow! Or what's his name?
Tim
Kaczynski.
Do what?
The guy that was in all the Police Academy movies with him. He played Tim Kaczynski, short guy, glasses.
Oh yeah.
They just took a picture together
not
long ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, I feel old.
I just watched a documentary.
Dude, I just saw a live concert with Tears for Fears.
Yeah.
And one of the lead singers has turned into a little old lady.
Oh Lord! Well, Steven Tyler did that 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I just watched a really cool documentary that came out, I think at the end of 2021.
Yeah.
It's called Joyride.
Okay.
It's Bobcat Goldthwait and Dana Gould.
Oh, I've seen bits or pieces of this or heard about it or something.
They did a comedy tour together.
Yeah.
Like where they're both on stage at the same time and they're telling these stories. You know, they're doing their stand up.
And this is about like them in the car going back and forth between them.
Yes,
right?
there's some of that. There's some of them on stage, but they also do a bunch of archival footage.
Oh, nice.
So the actual, like when Bobcat set the couch on fire on the Tonight Show.
Oh, it's Tonight Show, yeah.
Or when he went on Arsenio and spray painted F Paramount on the back and tore up the set and Jerry Seinfeld like getting mad at him because when he was on Arsenio Hall he said something about, Seinfeld's got a great show and everything, but he still sleeps with teenagers, and like,
whoa,
and like all of this stuff. I mean, it's just like
it gives a whole new meaning to comedians getting run over by cars.
No kidding.
Well, and they show it because one of Bobcat Goldthwait's friends was on Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee.
Yeah,
and it's so funny because like Jerry Seinfeld starts going off about Bobcat Goldthwait to her. In the episode.
Oh, God.
There's a reason, some people make it and some people don't. It's because of talent, they're actually funny or this or that. And he's like, blah, 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 blah. So they're on stage and he's talking about it. He goes, yeah, after all these years, Jerry Seinfeld finally has something to say and it's about me.
Nice.
I highly, highly suggest watching this movie. It's called Joyride.
I'll have to check that one out.
And it came out last year. I love this show. I love Bobcat Goldthwait to begin with. I always have.
Dana Gould is actually hilarious.
He gets into some of his like stuff,
right?
And it gets a little heavy at sometimes, And it's also one of those things. Towards the end of the show, he's sitting there, and Dana Gould goes, all right, well, hold on. Let me ask you a question. He goes, Robin Williams was your best friend. He's like, yeah. And he goes, he's dead. He's like, yeah. And he goes, and Kurt Cobain was one of your best friends. He's like, yeah. And he's dead. He's like, yeah. He goes, who would you consider your best friend now? And Bobcat just looks at him completely blank and puts his hand on his shoulder.
Wow. Jeez. Now you know how I feel about being friends with you.
But to see the two of them play off of each other is
that's epic right there. All right, so yours is Bobcat.
Yes, I would love to see Bobcat Goldthwait do anything.
All right,
so
I've got 4.
4. Wow. All right,
I've got 4. 2 living.
Okay.
Two not.
All right.
The 2 not would be Carlin.
Oh, of course.
And Pryor.
Yeah, I think that goes without saying on those two. Everything about just to make everybody tense as hell.
Go ahead.
One caveat to that: Pryor in his prime.
Yes.
Okay, not Pryor later.
No, I'm talking.
Not Harlem Nights.
And nothing against Pryor. I understand he was dealing with Parkinson's, in his life.
No,
so
I'm talking about
but
Pryor live on stage dealing with that heckler in the balcony.
Right.
Pryor.
You're talking about Sunset Strip Pryor, not Harlem Nights Pryor.
Yes.
Okay. I agree.
I'm talking about Gene Wilder. We bad.
Oh, Silver Streak.
Silver Streak. I'm talking about those.
Yes.
Pryors.
Right.
Yes.
You want Cocaine Pryor is what you want.
I want him and
we're not talking JoJo Dancer Your Life is Calling Pryor. We're talking
I'm talking that. I'm talking the Chevy Chase on Saturday Night Live.
Oh God.
The honky.
Yes.
Oh, as you were saying, do not say any of that sketch.
Wow.
Dead honky.
Wow. Dead honky. And he wrote that whole thing.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
And if you watch Chase's face as he's going through it,
I know.
He's
like, I can't believe I'm saying this.
I'm going to do this,
television.
and I'm going to get killed.
I know.
I know it. Yeah.
The 2 living ones, though?
Yes.
Chappelle
would be interesting. Chappelle would be very interesting.
And Kevin Hart.
See, Kevin Hart already is so much.
Yeah, I was going to say, Kevin Hart is kind of already a cartoon.
He's kind of like Goldthwait.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he's like the Tasmanian devil of comedians right now.
I'll give you that.
And yes, that's a short joke also. So
wow.
Sorry, Kev.
Wow.
But you put him in a cartoon where you can physically make him do what he sounds like he's doing at that point.
Yeah.
It would be hysterical to me.
See, and I know it's kind of low-hanging fruit, but the one that I would love, just because on his stand-up, he kind of does an internal monologue as he's performing, is Jim Gaffigan.
I cannot stand that guy.
No, hear me out for a second on this.
I have a love-hate with Gaffigan.
If I hear Hot Pockets
Okay, granted.
one more time.
Granted, his stuff gets run in the ground. I'm not going to deny that. But the idea of that whole, when he goes to that falsetto voice, he's kind of doing an internal monologue. I was like, that right there is ideal for another character or a narrator. That's what he's created.
I can
He's like
see
the
that.
worst version of
see
Deadpool ever.
Okay. I never thought about it that
That's
way. But
one way of putting it.
I never thought about it that way.
And I love Deadpool.
I know you do.
I mean, I could see Gaffigan doing a good one. I could see Mark Maron would be an interesting choice. And I think that's going to be one of those ones that just to watch him going again, kind of like
Mark Maron.
Yeah.
I love watching Mark Maron.
Okay.
Because he is so expressive in his like you can just see the hate.
Yes.
or the exacerbation or whatever it is on him whenever he's doing stand up. Part of the reason I hate listening to his podcast is because he's kind of visual. You know,
he is. I can see that. And a lot of his stuff does just kind of drag.
Yeah, he's kind of like, and I know it's someone that you're probably going to say, which is Lewis Black.
Yes.
Which I think Lewis Black is hilarious. But Lewis Black, again, is just exhausting after a small amount of
absolutely
time.
correct.
I mean, it's just,
He's good for about 5 minutes, and then I'm changing the channel.
I love Lewis Black. If he guests on something, if he comes in for like a scene in a movie, I'm like, oh, this is going to be brilliant.
He's another Will Ferrell.
Yeah, but I do not need to see him in more than a scene.
Okay.
You know, that's, yeah.
And I'll throw one other one out there for you guys. And if either one of you disagree with this, I'm pulling your metal card right here, right now.
Okay.
Brian Posehn.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, no, you're
You know what was
absolutely
funny?
correct.
When I was researching this whole thing, and I kept going through all this stuff, I thought of Brian Posehn. I was like, how has Brian Posehn never had a cartoon?
I know.
How has
that
he
man
never had a cartoon?
I can see that character right now.
It's so funny to look at pictures of him from like 30 years ago.
Oh, I know.
Oh, I know.
He had like long hair. He was like a skater dude.
Yeah.
You know, just like, whoa, who is
If
this
somebody
person?
would give him a cartoon, he's got to be a cartoon character as a roadie.
Well,
going around following all these bands.
I could see him fitting into this sounds weird, but I could see him fitting into the Beavis and Butthead world.
Oh yeah,
brilliantly.
Oh, in
I
a
could see
heartbeat.
I could
brilliantly.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, somebody get Mike Judge on the phone. Get this to happen tomorrow. You know.
Yes, Brian Posehn would actually be a really.
I would love to see that cartoon. I would love to see him just being able to go and riff and tell stories and be that, because every time they cast him on like a TV show, he's always this kind of quiet, soft-spoken giant.
Absolutely.
And
then, but then all of a sudden,
you know,
but then all of a sudden, he'll have this rage moment. where it's just
Exactly.
like, whoa,
which, if you ever listen to his stand-up,
Oh, I know.
it's totally not
Exactly.
that.
I know.
It's completely just, you know, driven by rage and metal and
Right,
everything else.
right.
And I'm like, I want to see that guy. I want to see that character
Right.
in some kind of a personification in animated form. I think that'd be hilarious to watch.
You know who else would be good in animation form?
Who's that?
Bobby Lee.
Oh, God.
Because again, he's kind of a cartoon character. Dave's eyes.
Right now, Dave is staring a hole through Ellen.
That's such a bad idea. I can't even put into words how bad.
I love Bobby Lee, but you're right. He's one of those dudes that like,
Wow.
oh my God, we're all going to jail, aren't we? We're all going to jail. He's going to open his mouth. We're all going to go to jail.
You mentioned his name in this room, and I got nervous and started looking around for the cops.
Your eyes when I said that.
I was just like,
Oh my God.
we're getting arrested. Somebody tell me if we're getting arrested. I don't know yet.
I got one more thing on here before we get out of here.
All right, brother. What you got? What you got?
It kind of qualifies.
Okay.
Bebe's Kids.
Robin Harris.
Robin Harris.
Okay.
Based on his stand-up, I know that Bebe's Kids is part stand-up and part animation.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Bebe's Kids was like these characters that he made in his stand-up
Right.
and everything. Robin Harris gone way too soon.
Agreed.
Like
Agreed.
seriously, was getting ready to blow up massively.
Oh, yeah.
when he passed, and I was just like, oh man, and he was so funny.
Well,
so funny.
And I'll say this much. On the animated one, the vocal actors that they got
Yes.
to play in that,
yes,
brilliant.
yes.
Who else in their right non-psychotic mind would have ever thought to cast the smallest character in Bebe's Kids voiced by Tone Loc?
Yes.
I was like, oh my gosh.
But that was one that came to me. I was like, technically it's a cartoon. It's
Yeah,
based on,
yeah.
I know it's not a cartoon series, but it definitely falls in that.
Well, and I tried to stay away from a lot
I did
of
too. I tried to stay from movies
movies.
because you could have done like 8 Crazy Nights or something.
Yeah,
like
that was one that I went to.
It's
Rover Dangerfield was another one,
yeah.
and it just...
And I don't honestly think one of those fun movies are that good.
Well,
I mean,
not.
that's
most of the
Bebe's Kids is that good.
Yeah, most of the time when you go to an animated movie that... I mean, even you go with, was it Hotel Transylvania?
Yes.
The decent movie. I'll give you that.
I got one at my parents' house the other day. My mom was watching that.
I mean,
Like, not my son wasn't there watching it with her. She was watching it,
It's
and I
not
was
a
just like,
bad
and it's
movie.
not a bad movie.
You know,
I've seen the first one; it's funny.
it's just one of those things that I'm like, okay, well, but they're also. It takes one thing if you're doing a 2-hour movie.
Well,
it's a start finish.
The
okay, you're
difference
done.
between like 8 Crazy Nights and Hotel Transylvania is that 8 Crazy Nights is actually based on something that he's done for his stand-up.
Right.
Hotel Transylvania is him doing a voice.
Right.
I mean, that's all.
He's playing a character.
Yeah, he's playing a character, doing a voice, and that's it. And 8 Crazy Nights is not that good.
Yeah.
Like, it's all right. It's. I hate to even say middle of the pack, for him, because Adam Sandler's stuff has been so bad here lately that middle of the pack is like middle of the pack suggests that it's worse than it is.
Well, the funny
but
thing is,
it also suggests that it's better than it is. So it's
the one movie that he's done in the last like 5 or 6 years that actually was, in my opinion, the only thing really worth watching is the one that's not a comedy.
Yeah, Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems.
I loved
was
Uncut
really
Gems.
good.
I love that movie.
that movie.
It was really good.
You know why you didn't enjoy that movie? And I get it. Almost everybody I've talked to who watched that, who hated it, was just like, I was anxious the entire time. Like, yes, that is a 2-hour-long anxiety attack. That is all that movie
exactly
is.
What it was. My blood pressure was out the roof, and when I got through, I was like, it was,
and I can one up on you. You know why? Because
late at night.
I went to the theater and saw it.
Oh wow!
It was late at night, and I had to stay up and watch something else to get my blood pressure down enough to where I
understand that. It's kind of like the one we were talking about the other day, where you have to have the primer afterwards to kind of bring yourself down.
It really is. It's just I don't know. Yeah, that's there's probably other movies that we're not,
and other shows that we've probably forgotten about. This is why we have Discord.
Yes, it is. But yeah, that's I think a pretty good list, and we actually got a lot longer out of this than I thought we would. I seriously, I was looking at like 20 minutes in, I'm like, oh, this isn't going to be a very long episode.
Even though one of us misunderstood the assignment.
No worries.
Yeah, that's the story of your life.
But yeah, and again, we reach out to our listeners on this. If you guys do have anything,
that should be should be the name of your autobiography.
Which one?
Misunderstood the assignment.
Wow.
Still not as good of a reaction as Bobby Lee, but
I think that hit home a little bit.
That's you gotta go home and write a cartoon about the personification of depression.
Hey, dude, that'll make you some money. What are you talking about?
No, it won't.
Well, make somebody some money.
I'll misunderstand the assignment.
I just think about it this way. Miss Nay will make money off of your death. So.
True.
That's going to happen one way or the other. It's and I've fixed it so she can't do it if she murders me. She's going to have somebody else.
There you go.
Well, and we'll reach out to our listeners here if you guys do have any of the ones that I'm sure we've missed some. There's got to be some that we've missed.
Absolutely, I know.
Feel free to hit us up on Discord or any of the socials and kind of let us know, because I mean, if there's something out there that some comedian has done that we haven't seen yet.
Barry being all professional.
Hey, dude,
this is why we brought him on.
That's why you brought in the big guns, baby.
Getting us back on track.
That's why you brought in the big guns.
You wouldn't let me do it, so I had to distract you.
It took two large men to keep this train going in the right direction.
One on the left side, one on the right side, baby.
That kind of sounds like we don't need him anymore.
This is his equipment.
Yeah, because we were saying, I own the equipment.
I'll fix that in a heartbeat.
Oh my gosh, Alan, take us out of here before we get into more trouble.
Guys, thank you so much. I am Alan Smith.
I'm the other guy, Big Dave.
And I'm Barry.
We will see you next time.
See ya.